Here we are, Thoughts from the Office, Redneck Pride Outdoors. Seems like every time I do a video of something comes up to make me, gives me an idea on another video on that topic. And I did that video on fishing scents. And what occurred to me in talking to folks is a lot of folks do not think of fishing scents in the true sense of what they do. First, number one, fishing scent is not 100%. Fishing scent adds that little something to make the fish that's hesitant possibly go for it. Does that make sense to you? Like I've said before, when you're fishing with a lure, or we'll put it this way, when a fish is being a predator and it's going after something to eat, attack, whatever, whether it's food, territory, or protection, it's sight, sound, movement, smell, taste, feel. All right, they're everything that fish is encountering when it grabs another minnow, or it grabs a crayfish, or whatever. Okay, they're the things that it does. That's what it's expecting. So when you throw an artificial lure, if it's a hard plastic, then you're going to have sight, sound, movement, but you don't have smell, taste, or feel. With a soft plastic, you will have sight, sound, movement. You can throw feel in there, but you don't have, unless it's scented, you won't have smell or taste. So by adding that little bit of scent to it, gives that little bit of something to say to that fish that says, I don't know, to possibly say, yeah, maybe. Okay? Number one, if a fish ain't going to bite, they ain't going to bite. You got to enhance them. And like I've said on our tests and watching it and all that, floating sponges past trout, it's usually on the fourth float past with the sponge that the trout will grab it. First pass, trout doesn't care. Second pass, the trout comes out just a little bit and goes back in. Third cast, they follow it just a little bit and then they go back in. And on the fourth one, they go out, and a lot of times they'll grab it. Okay, that's what we found with the sponge. So there is nothing at their 100%, people. I know everybody wants it, but there is no 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 2 plus 2 is 4. It's trying to make that critter say yes when they say no. All right. Another thing that I've found that people don't comprehend with scent is scent acts in the water the same way your deer scent or trapping scent works in air currents. People don't think of that. They don't. They just think it's just you throw it in and it goes everywhere. And if you're in a pond and it's still water, you might have a even displacement 360. But even at that, depending on your wind currents and your springs and all that, there will be some type of a current in that water. There will be some type of movement in that water. And what that scent will do is it will move with the current or water movement laterally, okay? Now, if you're using an oil-based scent, it will move laterally with the current or water movement at the same time that it is rising. All right. Scent that is water soluble, and here's where a lot of people get confused. A lot of the oils or scent, meaning mother material, that is used will be of an oil base of some sort. And that flavoring, if you will, is formulated into the water-soluble base, so you still will have a little bit of oil. Just like I talked about the other video. You take a hunk of bunker and you throw it out there, there's oil coming off of that bunker, along with the meat and the other fatty acids and what have you. That's number one. As we learn about bait and lure manufacturing, we're always looking for fatty acids, and they're the draw. The fatty acids is actually what makes the animal strike or bite a lot. Same thing with our trapping baits and lures, the fatty acids in them. So we're always looking for those fatty acids, and so they're going to be in there. So your shedder oils and your we make a shellfish oil type bait out there. We have a crayfish, that type of stuff. So there's always going to be somewhat of an oil base to it, even in your water soluble fishing scents. But getting back to it, when the water current is moving left to right, that oil base is going to go X amount of distance, depending on the speed of the water, laterally, the same time as it's going up. So you're actually leaving a cone, if you will, just like your deer scents do in a air current. You put your deer scent out and you hang it, and that deer scent blows downwind, and the further out that air current takes the scent, the wider the cone, till finally it just dissipates to where it's no longer of any value because it's diluted by the air current. The same thing with your fishing scent. Your fishing scent is going to go out in that water column in a cone, if you will, starts from a point and then goes out, and as it's going out, it's going to more or less cone. So your water soluble, depending on the material that's made, will make a true cone. But even at that, most fishing scents are going to do an upward arc, if you will. So the water current's taking it, so they're going lateral, and they're going up and down at the same time. So it's like an arc up till it finally hits the surface. If the scent is heavier than water, then it will drop. Okay, that's why we like to use real enhancement in our Redneck's Pride scents and baits, because the solid material of whatever we're using is heavier than water, so it stays lower, and the oils that's coming off of those things and whatever starts to rise, so you get not only a wide cone, but you get an up and a down cone also. All right, so that's just a little bit of something making people think. Now, if you're using a lure, obviously, and you're pulling that lure through, now you're leaving a trail, and that trail, okay, again, will start off as a point, And as it goes through the water, depending on if you're in current or if you're in non-moving water or whatever, then your cone is going to do the same thing. It's either going to arc up or it's going to just broaden out or whatever. Okay, so just when you're fishing, view the scent cone for your fishing scent the same as you would if you were deer hunting or trapping. All right, does the same thing. All right, thoughts from the office. Redneck's Pride Outdoors. I'll see you later.